Welcome back to Auto Garage. Today we are diving deep into the history of one of the most important and iconic luxury cars of the early 20th century, the Rolls-Royce Phantom I from 1925. This car was not just a means of transportation, it was a symbol of absolute prestige, elegance, and mechanical perfection for its era. When it debuted, it replaced the legendary Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, a car that had already established Rolls-Royce as a brand synonymous with engineering excellence. The Phantom I had the enormous task of carrying that reputation forward, and it did so by combining improved mechanical performance with the kind of handcrafted luxury that made Rolls-Royce the standard of the world. In this review, we will explore its exterior design, performance capabilities for its time, and the value it commands in today's collector market. The exterior design of the 1925 Rolls-Royce Phantom I speaks immediately to the grandeur of the age. This was the height of the Roaring Twenties, and luxury cars were not subtle. The Phantom I carried with it a commanding length, with a wheelbase stretching over 150 inches depending on configuration, giving it the kind of elongated presence that turned heads wherever it arrived. Its design was never truly standardized, because unlike modern cars, Rolls-Royce provided the rolling chassis and engine, while the bodywork was created by coach builders. This meant each Phantom I had a unique character, shaped by firms such as Barker, Hooper, Park Ward, and Brewster in the United States. The result was a lineup of cars that all shared the engineering excellence of Rolls-Royce but looked distinct depending on the buyer's taste. The famous Spirit of Ecstasy ornament stood proudly above the radiator grille, which itself was tall, upright, and unmistakably Rolls-Royce. The grille was flanked by large circular headlamps, and the long sweeping fenders framed narrow wheels wrapped in tall profile tires. The car's running boards and large external spare wheels added to the visual drama. Many examples were built as limousines or sedans, with tall roofs and elegant, squared-off proportions, while others were configured as open touring cars or drop-head coupes. Regardless of style, the Phantom I had a commanding presence that epitomized aristocratic luxury. In terms of exterior finish, nothing was ordinary. Owners commissioned custom paint schemes, two-tone finishes, and trim detailing to match their wealth and status. Chrome and polished metals gleamed across the bodywork, while the craftsmanship of the coach builders ensured that each car was a work of art. It wasn't just about appearance though. The Phantom I's bodywork was built with durability and weight in mind, creating a car that felt solid and stately in motion. Performance for the Phantom I was advanced for its time. Underneath that enormous hood sat a 7.7-liter inline-six engine, an upgrade from the Silver Ghost's powertrain. This engine was smooth, reliable, and powerful enough to move the massive weight of the car with grace. It produced around 95 horsepower, which may not sound like much today, but in the 1920s it was a significant figure, especially considering how well the engine delivered torque at low speeds. The car's top speed was around 80 miles per hour, which was an extraordinary achievement in the mid-1920s, especially for a car that weighed well over 2 tons when fully bodied. The Phantom I used a 3-speed manual transmission, with power sent to the rear wheels. Driving one of these cars required skill, as gear changes were not synchronized and had to be done with precision. The car's steering was heavy but stable, designed more for stately cruising than spirited cornering. Braking came from large 4-wheel mechanical brakes, which represented an improvement over earlier designs but still required a firm hand and significant distance to bring the car to a stop. By the standards of its time, however, the Phantom I was smooth, refined, and effortless on long journeys, cementing its reputation as a car fit for royalty, industrial magnates, and celebrities. Another key factor in the Phantom I's reputation was its silence and refinement. Rolls-Royce marketed its vehicles as the best car in the world, and one of the Phantom's greatest achievements was how quietly and smoothly it operated compared to its rivals. The engine was virtually silent at idle. The ride quality was unmatched thanks to its long wheelbase and leaf spring suspension, and every element was engineered for long-lasting dependability. Owners could cross entire countries in a Phantom I without worrying about reliability, something that could not be said about many luxury automobiles of the 1920s. The interior of the Phantom I was entirely dependent on the coach builder's design and the buyer's preferences. This meant no two were alike. However, there were consistent themes: the use of the finest leathers, hand-polished wooden dashboards, and thick carpeting underfoot. Rear passengers often enjoyed immense space, with fold-out tables, mirrors, and even occasional chairs for additional guests. Privacy partitions were common in chauffeur-driven models, ensuring that wealthy owners could travel in total seclusion. Every switch, knob, and dial was meticulously crafted, with brass, nickel, or chrome finishes that reflected the obsessive attention to detail of Rolls-Royce. By modern standards, performance metrics may seem tame, but in 1925 the Phantom I was considered a true technological marvel. It balanced stately power with dependability, something no rival at the time managed as convincingly. For this reason, Rolls-Royce cemented its position as the choice of kings, queens, and industrialists during this period. When it comes to pricing, the Phantom I was astronomically expensive in its day. The chassis alone cost thousands of dollars, and once a custom body was added, the final price could easily exceed $14,000 in the 1920s, equivalent to well over $250,000 today. This ensured exclusivity, as only the wealthiest individuals could afford one. Today, the Phantom I is highly sought after in the collector car market. Depending on the body style, coach builder, and condition, prices can range anywhere from $250,000 to well over $1 million at auctions. Rare models with unique coachwork or celebrity provenance can fetch even higher figures, making the Phantom I one of the crown jewels of vintage Rolls-Royce ownership. In terms of legacy, the 1925 Rolls-Royce Phantom I occupies a critical place in automotive history. It marked the transition from the Silver Ghost era to a new generation of luxury automobiles, proving that Rolls-Royce could continue to evolve while maintaining its legendary standards of excellence. Its combination of stately exterior design, refined performance, and unmatched craftsmanship ensured its reputation as the ultimate luxury car of its time. The Phantom I is not just a car, it is a cultural artifact. It represents an age of glamour, opulence, and mechanical artistry that can never be repeated. To see one in person is to witness history in motion, and to ride in one is to experience the world exactly as the elite of the 1920s did, cocooned in silence and luxury while being carried by an engine that seemed to run on nothing more than perfection. That brings us to the conclusion of our detailed look at the 1925 Rolls-Royce Phantom I. A car that has transcended its era, remaining a symbol of unrivaled luxury nearly a century after it first appeared. It was a masterpiece then, and it remains a masterpiece today, admired not only for its beauty and engineering but also for what it represents in the story of the automobile. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's most iconic luxury cars, make sure to subscribe to Auto Garage for more reviews, where we celebrate both the past and the future of automotive excellence. Until next time, keep your passion for cars alive and your curiosity on the road.